the cold weather has you dreaming of summer already, we're going to take you there with a couple of super hot ambush makeovers.
Okay, and today we turn two Southern belles into bombshells. Dana Anderson from St. Petersburg, Florida, and Allie Ladd from Harriman, Tennessee. And working their magic as always is our celebrity. On out. Wow! Allie, you look gorgeous.
So what's up, guys? About end of November, I called Allie. I was like, you want to do something crazy? And she said, not really. I said, well, we're doing it. So here we are. We're at the airport. It's about 5:30 in the morning, and we're heading to New York. Just me and Allie. It's our first trip to together.
We've been asleep 2 hours.
Hey guys, it's Brian and Allie with the Ladd family. We're going to switch it up a little bit this week and give a little summary of our trip to New York City. And some of you may have seen that we have a pretty interesting trip to New York City, and got some big opportunities. But first, we'd like to just say that if this is your first time to our channel, we'd like to welcome you. We've been doing a series on our journey with MPS 1, so we made it to episode 5. So links to episode 1 through 5 will be down below, as well. We'll be flipping up in cards throughout the whole video. But I'm Ryan, this is my wife Allie. If you've been with us for quite some time and been following our journey, we want to thank you for coming back. And so we'll get to our trip on New York City. We'll next week we'll go back to start doing episode 6 and continue on our journey from there. But so let's talk about this trip to New York City. It was pretty crazy, to say the least. I had been trying to get Allie to take a trip with me because we'd spent the last 5 years taking care of our kids who have MPS 1 Hurler syndrome. So I'd been trying to get her since probably August, October, somewhere around there. I'd be sitting and just having ideas of, oh, let's go on a cruise, or let's just go to Florida for the week. We can take the kids, but we still get away. We still get a vacation, which we haven't had since Kennedy was 6 months old, somewhere around there. And that was
But
about.
she went with us.
Yeah, she went with us that
We
time.
haven't been anywhere by ourselves except for a night. We stayed one night in Kentucky, but we had seen them that day, so we were gone for just a few hours. And I do get away some during the day, but we've never left the kids overnight, and we've never left where both of us have been gone, except for the night we went to Kentucky to see Pink, which was awesome, by the way. Pink was a great performer, so I highly recommend.
Thank you, Josie, for the hospitality and taking care of us there, and just greatly appreciate you.
Yes.
So I'd been sending her ideas, and Allie, being Allie, had been shooting them down. No, we don't need to spend the money. No, we can't have anybody take care of the kids. No, we can't do this. It was just no. So I let it go. I let it just settle down for a little while, and then probably middle of November sometime, I said, hey, let's do something crazy. We've been talking about all these tropical trips. Let's just, how you feel about going to New York City? And I said, it's a pretty down time, and it'll be a lot cheaper, and we'll go have a good time just for a few days and get away. I'd never been. It's been a long time since she'd been. And so once again, she kind of just shot it down and didn't want to go. And so there again, I let it go by for a week, and something just kept telling me, say, you need to take this trip. You need to go. You just book it, tell her, who cares, whatever, just do it. And if you know Allie, she's a huge micromanager. So for me to book a trip where, I'm gonna go ahead and book the flights, I'm gonna go ahead and book the hotel, and her not have any input, I was scared to death. And because I knew everything could go absolutely to plan and nothing go out of the ordinary at all, and I'm still going to do something wrong. I promise you, there's at least something. So anyways, long story short, I booked the trip and just say, Allie, sorry, we're going to New York City. This is what's going to happen. This is going down, and you're going. Here's the dates and the time. This is when we're flying out. Let's go ahead and start setting up our family for childcare. And so we got all that taken care of, and our flight from Knoxville was smooth and everything was going great. Everything was set up from the hotel to pick up to going to from the airport and all that junk and everything that needed to be put in order.
As we were packing, Ryan had mentioned, so we had each had a carry-on, plus we had a bag we were checking. And Ryan mentioned putting some clothes in the carry-on. And I said, no, not when it's a straight flight. If it was a connecting flight, maybe. But all these years that I've been flying, I've never had missing bags or I've never had a problem. And I think being a direct flight, it should be super easy.
What's up,
We've been to the World Trade Center Memorial.
Now we're gonna go up in One World Observatory up to the top and look around.
It took us a while to get here. They lost our bag at the airport. Me and Ryan had that conversation before we left because he was worried we wouldn't have our stuff. And I said, they are not gonna lose a bag when you don't connect anywhere and it's going straight through. And we got off and they did not have our bag. Thought somebody had picked up our bag. And it finally showed up on another carousel. So we're finally here, we've been through the museum, and now we are here to look at a bunch of views. It's going good.
And out of respect of what the 9/11 is, we didn't really film too much inside the museum and memorial. So here we are at One World, and we're gonna take you up with us. Let's go. Thank you.
Okay, I'll take them up.
You got some more though.
Okay. Ladies, step right in. You're welcome. I need to be on this side. This side? Thank you. I need you to move your coat.
Welcome to One World Observatory.
102nd floor. Okay, look, this is second. Come on, now you step out. Ma'am? Yes. Okay, to your right, okay? Everybody to
Thank you,
your right.
ma'am.
Okay, I'm bringing them up because it's on 10-7.
Oh, okay. Step all the way in.
Thank you.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Seafood Theater. Are allowed to take videos and photos. Ask no time to talk. Enjoy your show.
Dynamic, diverse, and ever-changing, the city and skyline reveal themselves uniquely to each observer. Experience the infinite facets of the city beneath us as you prepare to see forever. we invite you to enter One World Observatory through the doors on your right, where a spectacular 360-degree view of the city awaits directly below you.
What you think about that? Smile.
Does it look real?
Kinda. Crazy.
How many is with you today?
Just two.
Esta es la hora, ¿eh? ¿Dónde estamos? Me hubiera aplastado así en la mañana. ¿Dónde estábamos? Acuérdate de no bajar tanto porque no nos van a creer.
Thank you for visiting One World Observatory.
I was gonna point it out to you.
Came back to Times Square and went to Los Tacos #1, which we highly recommend. It was great tacos, a great experience. Everybody that worked there was just was really fun to watch. It's really packed. The line's very long, but go ahead and wait in the line.
It moves fast.
It moves fast.
We started outside, but I don't know, maybe waited 15 minutes. It moves fast.
Yeah, there was probably 30 to 40 people in front of us, and we were in and had our food in 15-ish minutes, I'd say, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So then we went to Junior's Cheesecake after Los Tacos. Went to Junior's Cheesecake, and it was pretty good. Didn't have a bad experience there. There was a long wait in there, but we just got up the little to-go area there and got Junior's Cheesecake. So after walking all day around the Ground Zero and all that, we were just tired. Our dogs were barking, or at least mine were, to say the least.
So Ryan had been working before we left. He'd worked, I think, the night before.
I'd worked 3-day shifts and one night shift before we left.
So, and he had to edit a video before we left. So Ryan never went to sleep, which is normal for Ryan. Ryan does not sleep. And I was going on 2 hours of sleep. So we were definitely tired. And so we went to bed semi-early that night, by 11, I think. And then the next
By New York
morning,
standards, early.
the next morning, we had set our alarms just to try our very best to get up for the Today Show. It was something we wanted to do. We wanted to just go on and give a shout out to the kids. And Charlie Brown and Company in Knoxville had made us a sign extremely last minute. Thank you, Janice.
I'm gonna get that sign, by the way. Hang on.
She made us a sign to hold out so maybe we could get a little bit of awareness and tell people about our YouTube channel and about MPS. And it turned into something so much more. It was Thursday. Like I said, we really debated on going that day because it was like a high of 26 and the next day was like a high of 50. But we decided to go ahead and get up, and I made the comment, if we were good parents, then we would get up both days. So we did get up Thursday, and we recorded a shout out, pre-recorded, and then some people came out onto the plaza and they informed us that it was Thursday, which meant it was Ambush Makeover Day, that they do ambush makeovers on Thursdays. And they came over and they started pointing at me and sort of talking about me and said that I might be a candidate, and they named the girl beside me, and next thing I know, they did choose me. They chose me. They took me and Ryan in and gave us some instructions, and Ryan thought he was going to get to stay in the warm, but I think he got kicked back out into the cold.
It was cold. Like, I think their coldest day they had had in a long time cold.
Yeah, and the wind was blowing. It was freezing. So they took me in and didn't really ask me anything. They asked me what size I was, handed me some Spanx, said put them on, and they just started throwing clothes on us.
That girl said, I'm sorry, your wife's going to get pampered. She can stay in here in the warmth, but you got to go, and we need you back here at 10 o'clock. Got it? I said, got it. And she said, get out. I'm just kidding. They were a whole lot nicer than that, but they were telling me in a nice way to get out.
Everybody was extremely nice. It all happened fast. As soon as, like I said, they handed us the Spanx and they handed me an outfit to put on, they decided it was not right for me, and so they put my outfit on the other girl, and they decided it was perfect for her. They tried on 2 more outfits on me, and of course there's no mirrors or anything because it's a surprise to us too. And I'm thinking in my head, oh my, I can't imagine what these look like. But I can remember prom dress shopping with my mom, and always what the dress looks like on the hanger isn't always, what it looks like on. So I tried on the dress that I thought, oh no, please don't make me wear this. And they were all saying, yes, it looks so good. It looks so good. It's perfect. They asked me what shoe size I was. We crammed into a size 7. I'm a 7.5. I crammed into a size 7. They said, perfect, it'll work. And so had our outfits picked in 10 minutes, and then they sent us to hair. And they started doing our hair, and they had, I don't know what you would call it, like a beauty mirror or something that had lights around it, but all the mirrors were blacked out with black paper, and they really didn't want us on our phones. They were staring at us on our phones, just like, don't try to look at yourself, don't take a picture. And they would take us next door to do something else. Like, don't look at any windows or any mirrors. But so we got our hair done, and I was calm, and I got to tell our story to the makeup people and the hair people. So there was a colorist, and there was a person that cut your hair, and then there was a makeup artist. So I got to share our story with them, and I was fine until they started doing countdowns. They started coming down and checking progress, and then they got down, they'd say, you have 15 minutes, and then it was 10 minutes, and then it got down to a minute, and the hairstylist was saying, we're going to be ready, and the next thing I know, they're like, it's time, we gotta go. And so we rushed upstairs, and we're standing outside, and they're still spraying our hair and giving us instruction and running our microphone, and by this time my teeth were chattering. I had nervous sweats, but I had no clue why I was nervous. I was extremely excited for the opportunity, and I didn't know what Ryan was going to think. It's not often that I get ready and then I'm in this dress that obviously I could tell was off my shoulders, and I didn't have a strapless bra. They didn't provide me really with a bra, so of course today I didn't wear a very good supporting bra. That's the bra I had to wear, and they just sort of pushed it off my shoulders. And we went on, we got to see the segment before us as we were standing behind, and then it was time. And as we walked up to the red carpet, it was very slanted in the back, and there was maybe like a 2-foot span that you had to walk on. So by the time I could get turned to walk down the red carpet, I was trying to regain my balance and make sure I was comfortable, and everything just happened so fast. But it was a surreal moment, and to see Ryan's reaction and Hoda and Jenna's reaction, it was something I'll never forget. And turn around and seeing myself in the mirror, and it was just, they wanted to get me out of my comfort zone, and they did, and they did such a good job. And it was something I'll always remember and always be thankful for, because we truly feel like this was a platform that God provided. We never expected this, and like Ryan said before, he kept talking about we love tropical places, going back to the beach. We haven't been to the beach or to a warm place since Kennedy, a little bit after she got discharged. So we did get to go to the beach maybe a year after Kennedy got discharged. Yeah, it wasn't, I don't want to say it wasn't long, but probably 6 months after we moved home with Kennedy, we did get to go to the beach for a short trip with my brother and sister-in-law. And so we hadn't been anywhere since then, not as a family, not as a couple. So of course we were thinking warm in the beginning, and I hadn't really thought about New York in a while. I did go pre 9/11, and so it was exciting to go after and to see the memorial and everything, even though it was extremely sad. But this proved that God had his hands all in this, that he gave me this huge platform to raise awareness, which is our complete total mission. It keeps me motivated. Ryan's really good at, telling me to focus on the positive, telling me to stay off the negative on Facebook. I'm in the Hurler group on Facebook, and it can be really sad. It can really get you down. It's where we get a lot of our motivation. It's where we meet families like us. It's where we see the good. It's where we see the sad. It's where we see the scary. And so just having a mission to raise awareness keeps us motivated and focused, and for most part it keeps us out of the slump. And it just really, it's been extremely hard, but it's made me feel like I have a purpose. It's made me be determined. It's made me, all the comments and all the shares and all the love just proves that we're on the right path, and that this is what God wants us to be doing, and that I can firmly believe and have faith that we will find a cure, in my kids' lifetime. And part of my prayer is not only the cure, because even though a cure can be found, my prayer is that it can cure Kennedy and Lincoln. My prayer is that there's always an exception, and that everything can be reversed, and that Kennedy and Lincoln will be rid of all side effects of MPS. It is ugly. I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but just real fast. Kennedy had her bone marrow transplant at 12 months of age, and Lincoln had his at 3 months of age, and the vast difference between them is astounding. It's significant. It's very significant to see how much Kennedy struggles, and to see now that Lincoln's GBH is clearing up, to see how normal he is, and the way he moves, the way he hits a ball, the way he runs, the way he gets up and out of the floor is just so different compared to Kennedy. You look at Kennedy and you don't really see in the beginning, but then when you see her interact with other kids, she moves like a 70 or an 80-year-old, where they're moving like kids. She's very reserved. She knows what she can and can't do. She tries, but Kennedy lives in a lot more pain than Lincoln does. So back to the Today Show, it just gave us a huge platform. It showed us that God had his hands all in it, and we are forever thankful. I'm forever thankful that my husband took a leap of faith of his own to plan this trip without my input. I was so worried about micromanaging the kids before I left that I didn't do anything with the trip. I didn't plan anything. I didn't give any input. I just it's almost like I just ignored the whole thing, and I knew I was going, and the day before I had to go, I packed my bags and I was ready to go. And
then she started freaking out about it. Oh, well, what about this? So what about this? I'm like, if you're worried about that, you should have been worried about that 2 weeks ago. We're going. We're done. And so from the husband's side of things on the whole Ambush Makeover, of course, they kicked me out, and I was thinking it was probably, 7:30, and said it's not to be back till 10. So I had like 2.5 hours, and I was thinking, well, man, I don't really want to go anywhere by myself in New York, without Allie. And I kind of had a little agenda just to go by on places that we wanted to see and visit and tour. And I was like, well, I don't really want to go to those because I'm gonna have to go back with her because I know she'll want to go. And so I said, the only thing I know to do is go back out in the crowd and hold the sign and try to spread awareness for MPS 1, because that was our main purpose, was to go and hold the sign up and try to spread awareness for MPS 1 and hopefully find that person that will lead us to a cure. So that's what I did. I went out and stood until I think 9 o'clock, went back to the room for just a minute and called a couple of family and just told them.
He wanted to fix his hair.
I had a toboggan on.
He
It's
wanted
going to
to
be on
fix his
TV,
hair.
so I fixed my hair. You don't want to have toboggan hair on national TV, okay? Even if you are a guy. So I did. I showed back up at 10 o'clock, and they took me in to the little room, and the other woman that was getting the makeover, her daughters were there, and they were amazing to talk to. They were really great. And
Her name was Dana. I don't know her last name, but her name was Dana. This happened on Thursday. Sunday was her 50th birthday, and that's what she told her kids she wanted to do, was go to New York. Dana lost her husband of ALS, which is Lou Gehrig's disease, and it's an extremely debilitating disease in itself. She had 3 daughters who she was really close to, so she also had an awesome story. She was an awesome person. She was very loving, and she was a great person. I'm so glad that she was chosen to. She had a story of her own.
2 women that were very deserving and but very deserving to be pampered and just taken and be in spotlight and just have that time to be quote unquote women, and so anyways, they take me into the back room where the daughters were and a couple other stage people working behind the scenes were, and the daughters had mentioned that they felt like a couple people from HGTV was there, and I was like, well, that's awesome. I hope Allie's getting to meet them. And then in walks in the Property Brothers. And I'm like, what's up? How you doing? And struck up a little bit of conversation with them, but they got pulled real quick back into the Orange Room to go on for their segment. And then in walks Brian Balthazar off HGTV, and I struck up conversation with him. He obviously acknowledged the accent and wanted to know where we were from, or where I was from. And I told him Tennessee, and obviously he'd traveled back here with scripts and stuff of that nature. So we struck up a pretty good conversation, and just a down-to-earth, awesome guy. Just really good to talk to, and it was really awesome to be able to talk to him and get a couple of pictures with him. And so then they take us into the orange room, where they made myself and the daughters. They was like, okay, we're going to see how much you fumble with this. So they made us practice putting on our blindfolds to make sure that we weren't going to have them tied around our ears or around our neck and all this. So we had to practice doing that to make sure that we knew how to put a blindfold on. And so then they took us up on stage, and if you've never been in New York and seen the actual set, what you see on TV you think is a really big area, and it's really not. I mean, it's a small areas. They got broke down. You can see through the windows up in New York that just exactly what's going on there, but it is really small compared to what you see on TV. And so the woman, the producer, I was over there taking selfies with Brian and the property brothers over there. So I didn't hear the instructions from the stage manager on what I was supposed to do. So I walk up and I'm like, I'm sorry, I was over there taking selfies with the guys and I didn't hear any of the instructions. And the daughters had to go first for Dana. She was coming out first, and she's like, don't worry about it, just do what they do and you'll know what to do. And so I watched them and took care of that, and they put me up there, and I really still didn't know what to do. I was kind of asking Hoda, what do I do? And she was really good to help lead me and tell me what I need to do, because us men, we always need a good woman's direction to take care of us and help us out. And so Allie come out, and they asked me to remove my blindfold, and just it was amazing to see her. You could just see the happiness of what she'd been through in her eyes, and just that she was glowing to be in that setting, and just how beautiful she looked. And even though a lot of people didn't like the dress, according to the Facebook posts and everything else, I thought she looked beautiful in it. And I'd heard the story while I was putting my blindfold on, and just what they had actually put on our story for on the Today show about Kennedy and Lincoln. And I was just sitting there thinking the whole time, this is God working, just to be even where we were in that spotlight, and be able to share our story, where we were just going to hold a sign to hopefully get a quick second of a camera swinging by or something, to be able to just put MPS 1 Hurler syndrome on a sign out on TV for maybe 1 or 2 seconds. From that to God showing, watch what I can do, and to take that leap of faith and have that nudging to plan that trip and go through that, and to see God work right in front of our eyes and put us on national television, to have that platform to be able to reach that many people was just was amazing, overwhelming to say the least. And so I don't want to leave them out, because they were such a huge part of our story. But Kevin and Brianna out on the plaza were they were amazing. I mean, we honestly left New York feeling like they were family. We'd seen them and talked to them so much out there, and told them all about Kennedy and Lincoln, and just for somebody in that setting to be able to take the time and, not while you're talking, just be looking around like, okay, what else do I need to do? Who else do I need to talk to? And they were focused on us. They were listening. They actually truly cared about Kennedy and Lincoln. So Kevin and Brianna, just thank you so much for everything you've done to take care of us and help us. And so we left the Today show.
If the cold weather has you dreaming of summer already, we're going to take you there with a couple of super hot ambush makeovers.
Okay, and today we turned 2 Southern belles into bombshells. Dana Anderson from St. Petersburg, Florida, and Allie Ladd from Harriman, Tennessee. And working their magic, as always, is our celebrity hairstylist, Louis Licari from the Louis Licari Salon at Mizu, and our lovely lifestyle contributor, Joe Martin.
All right, guys, here we go. You're going to warm everybody up. We ready?
On the coldest day of winter, we're warming them up.
I like that. Okay, before we get to the big reveals, let's take a look at Dana's story.
Hi, my name is Dana. I am from St. Petersburg, Florida. I am on a little vacation with my 3 beautiful daughters celebrating my 50th birthday, and it's my first time in New York. My husband passed from ALS, so I'm very close with my daughters. We're a very close-knit family. Obviously a little emotional to be building memories and just sharing this time together. Your perspective changes a little bit, and so family is very important. I'm a very casual mom. From day to day, I could be found with jogging pants and a t-shirt. I don't do much to my hair, and I don't normally wear makeup, so this could be fun.
I like her attitude. Here with Dana are her 3 daughters, Audrey, Alyssa, and Lydia. All right, guys, please keep your blindfolds on for just a second, okay? We're going to take one last look at Dana. Why don't we bring out the new Dana? Come on out. Wow. Hold on 1 second. Wait 1 second. Dana, you look gorgeous. All right, are y'all ready? Take a look at Mom. Hot Mama. Oh, my God. What do you guys think? Hi, girl. All right, you want to see yourself, Dana? All right, why don't you just step right in front of that mirror behind you, take a peek.
Beautiful.
Can you see it's right? It's right.
Oh my goodness.
Dana, you look gorgeous.
Beautiful.
I don't want to cry and mess up my makeup, but I feel like a princess.
You look beautiful. Lewis, tell us about that hair.
Isn't that so pretty?
It looks great.
Now, Dana had her girlfriend color her hair before. She said, whatever my girlfriend uses. And I said, well, that's not going to really work. So what we did is I highlighted it to break up her hair was a bit brassy.
It's beautiful.
But this is more natural. It looks like it could grow from her head if she was incredibly lucky. And then, of course, Vanessa Collington gave her this fantastic haircut. The haircut was already in a bob. She just shaped it up, made it a bit more modern with layers on the bottom.
Dana, your daughter just said.
Moves.
Your daughter just said that doesn't look like my mother. It should be her mother. I know.
You've been 30 years. I should recognize her.
What do you guys think?
She's beautiful.
She is.
Oh, stunning.
Oh, Jill, that pink.
It looks
I
great,
love it. And those earrings.
Isn't that so
I like how it's monochromatic like that.
And so
This is shoes too.
Yes.
These are great.
This is Rebecca Minkoff, so it's great to just pair a sweater. And it doesn't have to match exactly. If you have pinks at home or blues, put them together. Monochromatic is fun. And then the shoes are Zappos, a little leopard fur.
And I love those earrings.
Yeah, the earrings are bobble bar.
I love those.
All right, a big round of applause for Dana.
Yes, Dana.
Come hang with your girls. Come on over.
Okay, our next ambush is Allie from Tennessee. Let's take a look at her story.
Hi, my name is Allie Ladd, and I'm from Harriman, Tennessee. I have not been away from my kids in 6 years since they were born. Me and my husband, I didn't want to leave, and he booked a trip and said I had to go, so here I am in New York. We have 2 kids. Kennedy is 5, and Lincoln is now 2, and they both have a rare genetic disorder called MPS Hurler syndrome. We're just now being normal as we can be with Hurler syndrome. I want an ambush makeover because I never get ready. My husband never sees me in normal clothes. I am a stay-at-home mom, and we live in the hospital a lot, and so we're on a mission this year to raise awareness for MPS, so I just want to be able to be presentable and get out and tell the world. We debated if we were going to get up this morning because it was so cold. We're excited to be here in New York.
Oh, we are so happy that y'all are here. Here with Allie is her husband, Ryan. Ryan, are you excited to see Allie?
I am. I'm very excited.
Okay, let's take one last look at beautiful Allie before.
And here's the dress y'all voted on.
Oh, yeah, y'all voted on this dress.
Yeah. All right, Allie.
Come on out. Wow. Allie, you look gorgeous, Ryan.
All right.
Want to take a look?
Let me take a look.
Yep.
Oh my God.
What do you think?
You look amazing.
Allie, you want to take a look?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and turn around. You do look amazing. What do you
Oh my
think?
God, it looks so good.
Oh, Allie.
Look.
All right, so,
Tissues again.
what do you think?
I think she looks amazing. She looks great. Yes.
Okay, well, y'all can stand together if you want to. Lewis,
Okay,
talk about
with Allie, again, she had almost her natural color, a few highlights, and I said, today we're going to go glam. Let's give her more highlights with that brighter streak around the front. Vanessa gave her this great hairstyle with this sort of beach waves on the bottom, whatever, it just looks lovely.
look so
and of
pretty.
course, all put together by the makeup of Enid O. Soft, natural, beautiful.
Okay, and Jill, that dress,
Yeah, she's like, I would never normally pick this. I'm like, great, we're gonna make you feel beautiful. So it's Kate Spade, way to wear off the shoulder, and then Zappos shoes to go with it.
Oh. Allie, your story's amazing. Thank you for sharing it with us and shining a light on us. Can we bring out Dana too? Let's give a big round of applause to both of our lovely ladies. Y'all look beautiful.
You guys look gorgeous.
Thank you for
both
coming.
deserving. All right, to check out these.
After that, Allie left with the dress and with the shoes.
I did get to keep the dress and I did get to keep the shoes. I had some cute Kinder Scott earrings. I had to give those back. But I'm thankful for the dress. I'm thankful for the shoes. And also, at the end and during, just seeing Hoda and Jenna's response and to meet them afterwards, they were so down to earth, even though they didn't really stick around to talk. I know they're extremely busy. They didn't rush us either. They took pictures and they seemed to care about the kids. And I told Jenna that a lot of our friends had met her at Dollywood and that they said how genuine she was then. And I listen to Audible a lot, so I'm very excited to download the Bush Sisters book and to read Jenna's book. And they were just great. They didn't act, snooty or what you think might happen to what we might deem them as famous people. They were just really great and down to earth. So I want to thank them too. They made us feel loved and welcomed.
As much as Southern hospitality as you can get in New York Today Show setting, that's what we were gave.
Yeah.
No, they were awesome.
Al Roker was good. Everybody was good. The guy that did my hair, his name, I hope I say it right, is Louis Licari, and Vanessa cut my hair, and I don't know how to say the makeup girl, Enid, I'm not sure I'm saying that right, but everybody was so nice and genuinely cared, and we were able to leave them with postcards. We left Hoda with some postcards just telling our story, and it is something we had printed up right before we went to New York. So we know there's a lot of people that would love to help us with our story. And like we say all the time, it's so much more than monetary donations. So if you would like some postcards that you could give out to people, or that you work at an office that you could leave maybe at the front or something, we would be more than willing to send you these postcards for you to hand out and just help us raise awareness. Every time you tell somebody about MPS, it's one step closer. So after leaving the Today Show and having this new dress and heels and my makeup and my hair done, that night we were going to Jimmy Fallon. So I thought about wearing all that to Jimmy Fallon. And then when I went back outside and realized it was 26 degrees and we had quite a ways to walk, I decided I was just gonna go in my boots and leggings. The whole time Ryan thought Jimmy Fallon was gonna be the highlight of our trip. For the past few weeks, Ryan had been...
Well, before that though, he only releases his tickets a month ahead of time. So, I booked our trip for January, and then this was back in early November, maybe late October that I booked the trip. So I told Allie, I said, December, 1st of December, we gotta be watching and let Jimmy, and hopefully get Jimmy Fallon tickets. They're hard to come by. So they released, got on there, and you put your name in for whatever date you're going to be around the area, and you may or may not get them, but you really don't know that you get the tickets till about 4 or 5 days ahead of time, maybe a week. But the whole time, my thought process was, if we can even just get MPS 1 mentioned on Jimmy's show, not even Allie and I, we don't need the spotlight. MPS 1 Hurler syndrome needs the spotlight. That's our goal. It's not any celebrity status or anything for Allie and I. It's to find a cure for our kids and for every other kid and every other family going through this terrible disease and terrible time. So the whole time I'm getting on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, any way I can to try and get the Ladd family's going to be in New York, Jimmy. We're coming to see you. We're trying to bring awareness to MPS 1 Hurler syndrome any way you can help. So for 2, maybe even 3 months, I mean, I literally was, I'm I don't know if he ever got the messages, but if he did, I'm sure he's like, I wish this dude would just stop. I'm not going to do anything. So
because of that, I told Ryan just maybe once we got there on the show, maybe he would call us out and say, and to the Ladd family that's been direct messaging me and tweeting me and reaching out every single day, I just want to give a shout out to you.
I'm so glad you're here so you can stop messaging me.
But none of that happened. And before we went into the show, we had our postcards with us, and so we just asked if we would be able to, you know, when he came up the crowd, hand him something. And she came back and told us no, that he wasn't allowed to accept any gifts. And I just asked her, they called them pages, so like interns. I said, it's not really a gift, it's just a postcard. She's like, I'm really sorry, I would hate for you to do it and get kicked out. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And so maybe 15 minutes later, another lady came by and she's like, I heard that you wanted to give Jimmy something. I just wanted to let you know that you are not allowed to give Jimmy's not allowed to accept anything. And I'm like, it's okay, it's not a big deal, it was just a postcard. And she's like, yeah, I'm really sorry, nothing at all. So I'm like, okay. And so going in, I told Ryan, I said, just give it to me. I'm not going to try to give it to him, but you never know, you know, what might happen. Maybe he would come up and talk to us. You just never know. And Ryan's like, I'm not doing that. She said not to. And I was like, I'm not going to give it to him. I mean, maybe I'm just holding it in my hand and somebody asked me what it is. So I carried it in, and luckily we did get on the end of a row, and I just laid it in the floor beside my chair, but nothing happened.
Yeah,
we got to see Will Smith. Will Smith was his guest that night, and they did a rap together, which was really good. So it was a good show, but
yeah, nothing against Jimmy. I understand he's being contacted.
Or NBC.
Yeah, or NBC.
But come on, Jimmy, you could have done something.
But no, it was an awesome show. It was an awesome experience. But we, the whole time, thinking that's going to be the highlight of our trip. And, you know, God said, you know, I'll take care of it. You watch what I can do. And so he did. And so Jimmy Fallon was good. But it's really hard to top what we went through and experienced earlier in the day with the Today Show and Hoda and Jenna and the rest of the NBC crew. So just I can't express enough. We're so thankful for that and grateful, and I think forever will be. So we left Jimmy Fallon, and is that the night we went and got the cheesecake from Magnolia Bakery? It's up near Rockefeller Plaza. I think they've got a few more in New York, but highly recommend Magnolia Bakery. There was really, really good cheesecake, and I think you even had one of their cookies or something, didn't you? Didn't you have like a peanut butter truffle almost kind of?
The icebox bar at the end.
Yeah.
But the cheesecake was the best. But again, it was late that night. I don't know what all we did until then.
We shut down the bakery. That's how
yeah,
late it was.
So it was 11 or midnight when we got back to the room, and of course we had to get ready for bed, so it was probably 1 before we got in the bed, and Ryan said, I'm going to set an alarm, and if we get up, we get up. And I'm like, no, we're going back to the Today Show. They had actually recorded our shout out to the kids that morning at the Today Show, but it never aired, I don't think. So I said, we didn't get our shout out, we're going back. And we were a little bit later getting there, but it was also supposed to be a little bit warmer, which it was still about 35 degrees. And so we didn't get on the front row, we got on the second row. But there were 2 girls in front of us that offered to let us get in front of them. And they had stood there, they deserved to be there. So we let them, you know, we just told them we would just stand behind them. But Kevin and them recognized us, and we did a little, it was a radio interview. I'm not sure how to get that link, but maybe we can message Kevin and see. But he recognized us, and then when Hoda and them came out, she definitely recognized us and came over, and again was extremely sweet and gave us a hug, and she allowed us to leave a postcard with her. So we hope we made an impact in their lives, and we hope it's something, maybe a future contact we can use, or maybe they want us back to do a segment on MPS. So Hoda, Jenna, Al, we are willing to come back to the Today Show. We would love to come back to the Today Show. So we hope you're watching and following, and we hope you learned a little bit about MPS. So 3 days in a row, we hadn't had any sleep. So Friday, it was supposed to be a little bit warmer, but it was still really cold. So we went back to the room and we warmed up and tried to answer some messages and respond to some Facebook, because thank you, Lord, the Today show, it really went viral on Ryan and I's Facebook page. We live in an extremely small community, and people say we've touched their lives, and they have just rallied around us. They follow us on Facebook for Kendi and Lincoln Ladd's prayer group, and people just shared it and loved it and cried, and we were so thankful. So we tried to get on and respond to some people and make a game plan. We had bought like a 4-pass thing where you could do 4 different things, and so it was included. And so we did a bus tour, like a jump on, jump off, and just sort of toured New York. And then where did we eat that night? The pasta. We went to Carmine's Italian. It was huge servings, so we shared one and still had leftovers. I highly recommend. It was good Italian.
Yeah, it was really busy, really crowded.
Very busy, and that was one thing that we were really grateful for. Just being the 2 of us, it was easier to get in and to eat places and sort of do what we wanted to do and not have to wait as long as others. So I highly recommend going in pairs of 2, or if you go with a big group, maybe just go break off and eat in 2s, because we were able to get in and get a lot more accomplished just being us.
D9, we went to Carmine's Thursday night. We went to pizza Friday night.
I don't know. Saturday we ate crappy.
Yep.
So what do we go back up to?
I don't know, we'll do it. So we just talked and figured out that actually Thursday we went to Carmine's, which was amazing, an Italian place, very busy, very crowded. And then Saturday, so we just talked about it on Thursday after everything had taken place.
You can just say, you can cut anyways, been a pause. So, did you want LSU to win?
Yeah.
So Thursday after the bus tours, the jump on and jump off, we went.
No, we did that on Friday. Thursday, we went to the Today Show. You were on Today Show. We went to Jimmy Fallon. Friday, we went back to the Today Show, and then we went to do Hop On, Hop Off. Saturday, we went to Chelsea, and we slept late Saturday. All right.
So Friday.
So we don't know where we're at in this video.
So Friday after the jump on, jump off bus, we ate at...
It's called John's Pizza. It's right off Times Square, which it's a tour. Times Square is very touristy, but John's Pizza, I believe, still is a local area. It's a few blocks off and hard to find off Times Square, and it was really good. It's an old church, a double-decker church that they've turned into a pizzeria. There again, just like Carmine's, it was a really long wait, but just being the 2 of us, we got in there fairly quickly. So we highly recommend it. It was awesome.
After we left there, we went to, is it Black Tap?
We went there Saturday. I'm pretty sure.
No,
we did.
We had pizza and milkshakes.
That's right. Yeah.
No. After pizza, we walked to Black Tap for crazy milkshakes. And I don't know what it was called, but it was an Oreo type milkshake. And I'm glad we shared because it was very rich and it was beautiful. So you'll have to see the picture. They had a lot of really neat milkshakes. And
this big. I mean, it was huge.
So again, for the 3rd night, we are going to bed late. And so we decided not to set an alarm for Saturday.
And slept till like, what, 11? Wasn't it 11 when we got up?
Yes.
And still our phones were still blowing up. And so we laid there trying to it's one of our missions that, you know, it doesn't matter how many messages or how many comments or how many shares we get, we're still going to try to answer everyone that we can. It is overwhelming. It does take a lot of time, but that's one thing that we want to do. You've taken the time to share it or comment or anything, so the least we can do is try to take the time to shoot a quick message or a quick comment and just say thank you so much. So we tried to do that, and that took, I don't know, until what, about 8 o'clock that night or something? No, I'm just kidding. It didn't take that long, but it took a while. And so then we left, and there was a place in Chelsea that I was really wanting to try that everybody had been raving about. It was called Jack's Wife Frida. It was a little brunch spot, and that was probably one of the best meals I feel like we had all week. There's great food in New York, don't get me wrong, but highly, highly recommend Jack's Wife Frida in Chelsea. It was really, really good food. Really good service. Just, they were awesome, very, very friendly, very personable people. Then we went to Chelsea Market and walked around Chelsea Market there, and that was a really neat place. And then we walked the High Line. We walked the High Line from, which, if you're not familiar, the High Line is an old railroad bed that they've turned into basically just a park. And so we walked from Chelsea Market all the way back to Hudson Yards, and we had some time to kill. We were going to Wicked. We were going to Wicked on Saturday night. That was one of the things when I mentioned we're going to New York, Allie's like, we have to go to a Broadway show. And I was like, do we have to go to a Broadway show? And she said, we have to go to a Broadway show. So of course, Allie, in her taste, she picks the most expensive one. I'm just kidding. It was a great show. So we hung out around the shops there at Hudson Yards after walking the High Line, and just killed some time there. And then we walked all the way to Gershwin Theater and watched Wicked. After we got out of Wicked, we had about 5 minutes to walk all the way back up to Rockefeller Plaza for Magnolia Bakery one last time, because we wanted some more cheesecake. That was going to be our last night there because we were coming home on Sunday. And so we got some cheesecake and got in bed, and we were going to get up the next morning. We were thinking about getting up really early because we still, with everything going on and everything we want to do, we still hadn't got souvenirs and gifts for the kids and for family members and stuff of that nature. So we were like, we got to get up early because Hillsong Church has a service in New York, in Manhattan, and so we wanted to be sure that we caught one of those. And so we were going to go to the 10 o'clock service and get up just like 7 o'clock, and then our alarms went off, and we're like, no, we're not getting up, we can't do it. Because our flight was supposed to leave at 2 o'clock that day, right? No, it's supposed to leave at 4. We're supposed to leave the hotel at 1:30 to head back to the airport, so we got there in time for our flight. And so we woke up, and I was like, it was about 9:30. When it was around 9:30, we woke up, finally got up, our lazy bums out of bed, and we were on vacation. Don't judge us, okay? And so we got up and went shopping for souvenirs and all that stuff. And so then we were able to catch the 12 o'clock service at Hillsong Church. So if you have an opportunity to catch a service at Hillsong Church, highly recommend it. It was an amazing service. The sermon went right along with everything that had happened to us with the Today Show, and just continuing to fight to cross over that boundary to push yourself in those things that God's put in front of you. And just highly recommend going to services. And actually a pastor from South Carolina that was filling in for their close. It was a pastor from, so it was actually a pastor from Baltimore that was filling in for their pastor who had been playing some basketball and broke some ribs, right? He had broke some ribs, so he was out. So, you know, there again, if you think about the timeline of stuff, you know, for that sermon to go right along with what Allie and I had just witnessed 2 days before of God's Word, and to think that that other pastor may have had a different sermon, but this pastor from Baltimore came and just gave us that extra oomph, that everything that we needed to confirm what we had just been through a few days before was just, it was kind of emotional. Can't lie, I cried a bit during the service, just feeling God work, and just what He's done in our lives, and what He's doing for Kennedy and Lincoln and their disease, and just what's progressing right in front of us is amazing. So our flight ended up being really delayed, and we sat 3 or 4 hours at the airport. We'd already arranged a car to take us to the airport, and so long story short, flight was delayed, but we finally made it home, and Kennedy was happy to see us. Lincoln was passed out. He slept from the airport picking us up all through the rest of the night. So back to the whole Today show. From that, our local news channel, WBR Channel 10, had contacted us, and they actually ran a segment while we were in New York about us being on the Today show, or about Allie mainly being on the Today show. And
Ryan's cry made us famous.
No.
Yeah.
And so they contacted Allie and wanted to do a segment on us being on the Today show.
I didn't know what to expect. I was extremely nervous. We had gotten in late Sunday, so Lincoln has therapy on Mondays. He actually had a transition meeting at the school that I canceled, and I canceled another one of his therapies because it was just, the pressure was just too much, and just coming home and Kendi having to be at school, it was just a whirlwind. I didn't know what they were expecting, or you were expecting, so I stopped at the Mac counter at West Town Mall, and Amy was amazing. She did such a good job on my makeup, and I asked if I could come back for some tutorials. I never wear makeup. I would think that makes me more approachable, that I'm just sort of down to earth and wear a t-shirt and blue jeans. But as I said in a video earlier, a lot of people say I'm unapproachable because I never smile. And it is hard for me to show emotion. I've never really showed emotion. I'm not a hugger.
Or a smiler.
Yeah, or a smiler. So I'm trying, I hope I did better in this video for you guys. But it led to WBIR with Russell Bivens and Beth Haynes on Live at 5 at 4. And we thought that the Today Show loved us, and we felt loved by Beth and Russell. They were so down to earth. They genuinely cared about our story. They looked us in the eye. They didn't rush us. They focused more on our story and raising awareness for MPS than actually what happened at the Today Show, which I'm forever thankful for. Any time we get to tell our story, or any time we get to say the word MPS, especially on live TV, is such a blessing. And we can't wait to see where this takes us. We can't wait to see the awareness this can raise. There's already been families that have reached out to us. We've gotten so many friend requests, and we're trying to accept them all, just to be upfront, to be transparent, to be that connection, or just to be that hope for a newly diagnosed family. I've said before, my brain's really fried from sort of going through transplant and what happened before. The trauma was extremely weird. Sorry, our dog is hacking in the background. That is Toby. But so I know how it is, you know, just to be so scared and to feel all alone. And so for somebody to see us and just feel like we're like them, or just feel like we're normal people and reach out is part of our mission too, just to give hope and provide iPads and raise awareness and to find a cure.
So that's kind of a teaser for the video, probably in the next episode coming up in our journey with MPS 1 is the Kennedy Ladd Foundation. We did start it, so if you haven't seen our segment on WR, or haven't seen some of the posts on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, any of that, one way that you can help is by donating to the Kennedy Ladd Foundation. It is a 501c3 status foundation, full nonprofit. We don't take any income from the foundation. Everything that goes into the foundation goes right back out to fund research and to fund iPads for kids about to go through transplant process. So I ask that you donate to that foundation. It is a tax write-off for you, and it puts more funds into research and for iPads with us. I do want to put a little plug in there that if you know anybody with Apple, we're trying to get a contact with Apple to help us out with the with iPads, and not even monetary wise, but just to be able to have that contact, to be able to, for the nonprofit status, and just the process of everything going out. So we met some great contacts in New York to kind of help that on the business aspect of Apple. But if you have any insider contacts, please put them to us, because we have sent out, how many iPads to date? 20?
Last I had a total, it was 22, but maybe 1 or 2 since then.
And so we do have, from the foundation, we have roughly, give or take, I believe $35,000 that we're going to put into research this year.
Well, we pledged $25,000 to $30,000 in 2018, and I'm not going to lie.
2018 or 2019?
2019. Well, we pledged $25,000 to $30,000 in 2019, and we did not end up donating that money. There was about 5, I'd say, things or trials, or I don't know the word I'm looking for. There were about 5 options we had narrowed it down to. We just couldn't decide last minute on the one that made the most impact. And so we were actually going to present it to the MPS families and let them choose and see what they said. There were some clinical trials going on. And I guess it's hard for me because my vision is to find a cure. But sometimes once things are past a certain point in the FDA, they don't really need funding anymore, or a certain part in the trial. So some of the options were for corneal clouding, and right now the kids can have a corneal clouding transplant, but there's some new research out, a new treatment option that they're trying to get pushed through. So there was a few options. There was gene editing therapy, there was a corneal transplant, there was I don't even know them all, but we're going to list them and we're going to let them pick. So I would say now we're going to donate double in 2019. So I would say, so now we're going to donate double in 2020. So we're going to take the $25,000 to $30,000 that we had pledged in 2018, and we're going to add it to what we were going to donate in 2020. So I expect to donate between $50,000 and $60,000 this year to a research, to a clinical trial, to a researcher. And that's one reason why sharing could possibly help. There could be a researcher that's working on a project that we don't know about, or there could be some research that's about to run out of funding, or there could be some guy in Japan or wherever that somebody might know that could help us find a cure, some researcher that somebody doesn't know about, or some kind of stem cell therapy, because people say in the stem cell therapy that the U.S. is way behind. So maybe there's somebody you know, or somebody that sees this and that can help us. So we do plan to donate. As soon as we donate, we will be very transparent and open about the money. The money has just been sitting at the bank and it has not been touched, so it's just waiting for a place
to go. Decision
yeah.
to be made and place to go. So that's one way you can help, is by donating to the Kennedy Ladd Foundation at kennedylad.org, or the foundation account is at Watchwell Federal Credit Union in Harriman, Tennessee. So you can take it right down to the bank and they can put it straight in the foundation account. By sharing our Facebook page, either Kennedy and Lincoln Ladd's Facebook page, their prayer group, or by sharing the foundation Facebook page, or the Ladd Family _ MPS on Instagram, or the Ladd Family _ on Twitter, and also by sharing these videos. We're going to be putting some more videos on the Kendi Ladd Foundation YouTube channel to try and build that up, and we need to update the foundation website as well, and or just by simply telling somebody about MPS and about our channel, to help just spread the word and spread awareness. And like Ali said earlier, if you'd like a postcard to be able to not have to try and say what MPS is or anything of that nature, we can send you a few of those that you can just hand out. Say, hey, I've seen these guys on YouTube, or I've seen them on Facebook, and they're trying to spread awareness about this disease, and here's their card, here's their story, go check them out. And so we can send you some of those. Just shoot us a private message or find out how to get in touch with us to give us your address, and we'll be sure and get those out as quickly as we can. But we just want to thank you for watching, thank you for sharing, and like Ali said, we're just excited to see where this opportunity takes us. Me and Ali don't want to be in the spotlight, but God's put us here in this position for a reason, and wants us to continue on this journey, to continue to push, to continue to fight, to continue to spread awareness for MPS 1, Hurler syndrome in general, and then never know, once we find our cure for Hurler, we're going to continue to fight. The foundation's not going to go away from there. We're going to continue to fight for other MPS diseases, and once we find cures for them, we'll continue to fight. Our journey's just going to continue to fight, to continue to bless. We were unbelievably blessed from everything that we've gone through, and we just want to pass that blessing along. So we're just going to, that's our motto. We're just going to continue to fight, continue to stay strong, and do everything that we can for not only our kids and our family, but for other kids and other families as well. We're going to Washington in February of 2020 to talk to legislation to, it's called A Day on the Hill, and we're going to continue to fight there. And like I said, the fight's not going to stop. We're going to continue to go more places. We've got some really good contacts in some areas, and hopefully that these blessings that's come to us has put us in contact with some more areas that we can just see where God leads us, and see what, just ask Him for guidance, and see where He takes us. So I believe that we have talked your head off and told you a whole lot about our trip. We want to thank NBC and the Today Show for our amazing experience that we had. We want to thank WBR, Channel 10, Beth Haynes and Russell Bivens for their great hospitality and everything that they've done for us. And we just hope and are praying for more opportunities to spread the word. So, like I said, links for our journey videos will be down below in the comments section, as well as links to our Facebook and the Kendi Ladd Foundation website, and some other stuff as well. So just be sure you read the information below for all those links. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel to receive alerts whenever we do post a new video, please subscribe and hit the bell so that you receive those alerts. And we're looking for comments. We're looking for guidance on other videos that you'd like to see, what we aren't and are doing right or wrong in our videos, and because we're new to this, we're brand new and just trying to spread the word the best that we can. So please like or dislike the video, subscribe, and hit the bell. And just leave us a comment, and we just want to thank you. Thank you.
I don't think so. I know you guys are probably missing the kids. You're tired of seeing us. We actually tried to get Lincoln to be on here tonight, and by the time we got it all set up, our sidekick passed out over in the chair. So I kept looking over, and then you heard our dog hacking in the background. So it's all a little bit live, and we try to edit what we can, but I told Brian he should try to put some bloopers at the end, so maybe try watching till the end, and in the future he'll add some bloopers that can make you laugh. So we'll try to get the kids on here soon, and Lincoln definitely has full personality like his daddy, and he can make you laugh.
Yeah, we want to get the kids on here as well. It's just so late at night whenever we try to do these to get them. So but thank you all. God bless each and every one of you, and y'all have an amazing day or night, whichever it is, whenever you're watching this. and we love each of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.